Hi guys, welcome to The Young and the Tasteless. I am your host, Kathleen Wallach. Before we get started, I just wanted to say I was looking through the Chive and I saw this really awful, weird picture, and it was of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West wedding, of course. And Will Smith and family were invited, and his kid Jaden, who like everybody pretty much just sees as like a 15-year-old jackass, was wearing this like full white Batman costume, and it was like total. It was just so bizarre, and it just got me thinking, like, these kids they don't stand a chance. I mean, it's like when you're 15 and you're already, and that's not even the most offensive thing from this family. Like, these kids, they tweet all this ridiculous stuff, and it's actually, if you really want a good time, just like Google Jaden Smith's tweets. They're hilarious. If you thought you were a jerk at 15, look at that. I just had to get that out there. It was just these, anyway. Oh, by the way, Will Smith, they have a kid who's 21 or in his 20s, and nobody seems to know about because, he doesn't do stupid things. Just remember, Will Smith has a son in his 20s that nobody ever even knows about. So, anyway, okay. So today's show, I wanted to talk about something, a personal experience that happened to me this week, and I think it's kind of weird. It's kind of almost spooky. So let's just dive right in. So I had a meeting with a talent manager last week. All right, I met with her. Now this person, she was real. I saw her. I was in a room with her. We had a meeting, and she said, "I want to meet with you again." And gave me her card and this intake sheet, and basically saying, "I want to manage you." All right, she just said, send me, more pictures, and we'll take it from there. So I emailed her more pictures. All right, so I went down to New York. I met with this real person. This is going to come back, so I just want you. She was real. I met with this woman. She said she, wanted to meet with me again at her office, again in New York City. Soon. So we corresponded via email. She said, we've set up a date. I said I'm going to be back in New York for an audition on Saturday, this past Saturday. And she said, great, we'll meet then. We'll meet before your audition. And then she sent me like a client intake sheet. So I wrote, okay, great. I'm going to be getting a manager. This is exciting. This is great. Okay. Now this is weird. She said she was going to call me to, further discuss the appointment. Saturday rolls around. I still have yet to get a call from her. Now, keep in mind the date on Friday when I had yet to get a call from her, I called her twice. No answer, right? Just rang, went to a voicemail, which in the voicemail box was full. All right. So I'm like, okay, maybe she's just busy. Maybe she'll call me on Saturday. Saturday rolls around, nothing. I emailed her like 3 times, nothing. All right. So I'm like, okay, well, I Googled her office, so I got the address. I was like, I'll just drop by before my audition, see what happens. So I, Google the address. We're in New York, go to the address, right? Okay. Which, by the way, the address was right next to a strip club. I'm not saying that means anything. I don't know. Anyway, so we go to the exact address that's on her website, on her Facebook, on all this stuff. Went to the address, right? Looks a little weird. Looks a little abandoned, if you ask me. Anyway, I go in. I see the doorman, or the guy who's sort of in charge of telling you what floor to go to. And I say, oh, I'm looking for blank blank. Shouldn't say her name, but I'm looking for this office, and I show him my phone, which says the address, which says the suite number. It was 501E or something very specific. So he'd be like, oh, I don't know any. So this is what the doorman guy says to me. He's like, oh, I don't know. There's a graphic design firm upstairs that no one's been in a while with that in that suite. So I'm like, oh, wait, what? So he's like, well, you can go up to the suite and see. So I'm like, okay. So I go into the elevator, this rickety old, like I swear to God, Twilight Zone elevator. Go up to suite 501 or 503. It was a very specific thing. It had a letter at the end. It was very specific. I went to the suite that was listed on her website, on her Facebook, on all of her stuff. It was like an abandoned graphic design from, I swear to God, nobody had been on that floor in years. Like, seriously, that's what it felt like. Is it just nobody had even, it was like a horror movie. It was so weird. And it's like, so I was just totally floored, totally confused, all right? I, called this woman, and the thing is, we had just corresponded via email like a few days ago. She had said she was going to call me. She said, we'll meet. I emailed her back. I got nothing. I called her. I got nothing. I got nowhere. So I'm like, all right, well, this is just weird. This is the makings of like this, like a David Lynch film. Like, it was just so bizarre. She was nowhere to be found. It's like she never existed. It was like the, meeting I had with her was like a dream. It was so weird. So, all right, I go down. I'm like, all right, well, this is weird. I have no idea what happened to her. I tried calling her again to no avail. I emailed her, actually. I said, listen, like, I tried to get in touch with you. This is, I can't. And what I call me if you want. I mean, so, and that was my experience with meeting with this mysterious talent manager. And it just got me thinking. It was just such a bizarre turn of events, and I guess, I was thinking, and, I was talking to my family about it, and my mother was like, maybe it was like a scam, and I thought, well, it couldn't have been a scam, because people who, are into scams usually, well, they try to get money from you up front, and they're a lot more aggressive about pursuing you. This woman just, like, disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, it was ridiculous, and I checked, like, her, like, Twitter thing just to see if she's, active or alive, and it was just, and she hasn't tweeted since, like, March, and I checked all this stuff, and I was like, it was like this woman never existed. And I checked out her like client list, and I checked out, and it seems like, based on her client list, it's not like she's very, it's not that she's not reputable. It just seems like these people that she's representing, I looked at like their resumes, and it just seems like they just got a lot of extra roles, which, as we all know, you can kind of get by yourself. You don't need a manager to take 10% of your money for the day for that. So I just wanted to share that experience with you, because I guess this is an industry that is full of flakes. So it could be possible she just completely flaked out on me and just, completely forgot, completely just, disappeared. Who knows? I checked, I thought the worst possible scenario. I checked into it. It's just like she's never existed. It's very weird. And even Googling her, she has some things on there, but it's very weird. So I guess the lesson to take from an experience like that, Ghost Manager, is don't ever get your hopes way up when you get, when you get one of these opportunities. I know a lot of the times when you sort of get something like this, like a meeting with a manager or something like that, or a literary agent for the writing, and, it seems almost like this, like, savior opportunity. Like, oh, great, now, because that's what went through my mind. It really is. Like, I got so excited, and I was like, oh, great, now, I'll finally like have it all together. I'll have a manager. And I was like super excited. And actually my sister told me, she's like, don't get your hopes up for this. And I was like, hey, you don't know anything. Don't though. Seriously, because this stuff happens all the time. It doesn't mean it's always going to happen. Obviously, they're not all flakes. They're not all this woman. But I really want to tell you guys her name because I just want to like warn you, but I don't want to get sued. Start to the nest though. So it was just so bizarre, and it's just like you really, all these like excited thoughts go through your mind, and you're obviously, like, I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a huge, and I was just like freaking out, excited, and then sort of I got this like letdown, and you really do have to realize, guys, you could do it on your own. You don't need a manager, you don't need an agent. If you want one, obviously with literary stuff that helps a ton, but with these types of people, these like talent managers, if they flake out on you, which, I'm not sure if that's everyone. I'm sure there's a lot of great ones out there who have, they provide many great opportunities. But I'm just saying, if they do flake out on you, don't worry, don't sweat it, because they aren't your savior. They're not, this doesn't mean you're going to all of a sudden be like, Meryl Streep and just get every role that you want. Talent goes into it too. And just knowing yourself goes into it, and doing stuff for yourself goes into it. That's so important too, is just to know that you can get, Bill Murray has never had an agent or a manager. Think about that. So you don't really need it, but you obviously get excited when you get one of these opportunities. But just be prepared, I guess, for flakes in this business. And that was what I learned from this experience was, maybe God intervened. You never know, like, what happens. but you can't get your hopes up, you know? And I know it's exciting, and I know you do, and I will always get my hopes up. That's the kind of person I am, very excitable. But like, you know, so that's what happened to me though, is that I got my hopes up, you know, this woman's professional, I thought this was gonna be this great opportunity. And then, you know, she never existed or something. You know, so, I mean, that's just the name of the game, is just sort of trying as much as you can to do it on your own too. Because these people can be very, very flaky. These people can, you know, maybe they just got really way too busy or whatever, but, you know, it's tough starting out because you're not given the same respect as like Tom Hanks would be given. So, but I just wanted to tell you guys about that. So if that happens to you, don't feel bad, because it happened to me, you know? And it's just, it was a weird experience. It's the makings for a great short story, I think. It's very Mulholland Drive. It's very weird. I just wanted to share that with you guys, though, because I had to get it out there. I want people to believe my story. I saw this woman. She existed. It wasn't a dream. And then she just disappeared. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is just, you know, don't get too excited. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the real important thing, is just do as much for yourself as you can. So, all right, guys. It was great seeing you again this week. Remember, sure to follow me on Twitter, @WalletKathleen. And check out Tasteless Entertainment, our blog. So have a beautiful summer day, and we will see you next time.